Hey, it's Mike from ZERMELOmusic.com, and in this video, I want to show you how to warp a dialogue sample so you can fit it into your track. Now, I just finished a track in the Chris Lake / Fisher style, and I want to show you what I did. So I am sampling a scene out of my favorite movie of all time, Good Will Hunting, and this is the line that I'm sampling right here.
So much fun studying organic chemistry. Are you mad? You completely lost your mind.
Right there. Are you mad? Have you completely lost your mind? That is so cool. And so in the track, this is what it sounds like here.
Completely lost your mind. Are you mad? Completely lost your mind.
And so first step obviously is getting the vocal. Now there's tons of programs out there if you just Google YouTube to MP3 where you can download the audio from the YouTube video. I'm using a program called Audio Hijack, which essentially lets me record my system audio. And so that looks like this right here. And you can see I'm actually using it to record my voice right now for this video. So let's jump back over here. I'm gonna get Audio Hijack going and I'm just going to hit record right here. And let's go ahead and record this line. Now, if I drag this in according to my preference settings in Ableton, Ableton is going to warp this. As you can see, it treats this as a short clip, and short clips get warped on input. And you can change that here in preferences, right here, the warp tab. And right here, you can see that I have short samples set to auto warp, and I have long samples set to off. Now, it's useful to have the short samples set to auto because if you're dragging in loops, for example, then it will automatically match the two BPMs. So that could be really useful. But in this case, I don't want this to be warped to any BPM because this clip doesn't have any BPM. So I'm just going to turn this off and I'm just going to manually create the warp markers to get it aligned the way that I want in a way that works with the rhythm of the track. Now, there was two things that I liked about this vocal. I'm just going to place it approximately where I want it to go. I liked the completely, and I liked the are you mad? So I'm going to try to find those and pull them out. Awesome. So we have the two vocals. Now I wanted are you mad to be the payoff line, so I'm going to put this over here. And I wanted have you completely lost your mind to land right here when everything cuts out. So I know that mine's going to go right around there. So just tentatively, I'm going to get it in place. And then are you mad is going to be the payoff. So I'm just going to put it around right here. So let's work on the completely line first. I'm going to get a limiter just to be a little bit safe. I'm going to crank the volume so we can definitely hear it. Push this about 6 dB here. So I'm going to play this. Let's listen to see how it sounds in the rough position.
You completely lost your mind. Are you mad?
All right, not that bad in the rough positions. Obviously, we need to get it in the right place. So at this point, this is where I want to turn on warp. Now at this point, some people might have problems because Ableton can misbehave and it will not align the clip grid to the editing grid here in the arrangement view. So for example, I know that I'm going to want to put mind on the beat. And so in the clip view, it looks like all I need to do is move this right here. But like I said, just because I'm moving it right here and it looks like it's on beat in the clip view, that doesn't mean that it's going to align on a beat in the editing view. There can be a mismatch between the clip grid and the editing grid. Now, in this case, there is not that problem, but if you do encounter that problem, the way to fix it is to come right here to the clip start, and the clip starts right here. Okay, so here to the right in the clip, we have a lighter gray, to the left, we have a darker gray, and just right click on that separator and just set 1.1.1 here, and that will now align the start of the clip in the clip grid to the start of the clip in the editing grid. And so you know that you're not going to have any problems. Another way that I kind of prefer is to just consolidate the clip. So I know that this is roughly where I want the clip to be in the arrangement view. So I'm just going to hit Command J to consolidate the region. So I'm only working with this region of audio. As you can see, if I zoom in and out, I can't zoom out anymore. I'm only working with the clip that I want. And as you can see, this is perfectly aligned. So for example, if I move mind onto the beat here, then it's going to also be moved onto the beat in the arrangement view. Now I'm going to keep mind warped here on beat because I know I want that. I want the cutout before the payoff to end on mind. And now we just need to figure out what we're going to do over here. So let's just go ahead and give it a listen.
You completely lost your mind.
Okay, so I know for sure that I want lost on beat. Now I also know that I want the completely to happen on the 16th note before this beat right here. And so I'm going to just place it right there. I know this is the 16th note position because on the bottom right you can see the grid value is 1/32nd note. So two 1/32nd notes are going to be a 16th note. This should be pretty close. Let's just kind of move this on grid as well. That's going to be on a 16th note. Maybe we could just move this onto the 8th note, and maybe we can move this onto the 8th note as well. And let's see how that sounds.
Completely lost your mind.
So this sounds a little bit unnatural. I'm going to undo these guys, and also I'm going to change the envelopes here, and I'm going to hit B on the keyboard to get the pencil tool. I'm actually going to take this part out, just like this, and let's just go ahead and snap this so it's a little bit more of a fade.
Completely lost your mind.
And we have some noise back here. Let's get rid of that. Just simple. Let's just edit that out, and we'll just do a little bit of a fade. Okay, so let's check this out again, see how it sounds.
Completely lost your mind. Are you mad?
Okay, so I think mad needs to go right here on the beat. So I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit and get it approximate right around there. Cool. So let's see what this sounds like.
Completely lost your mind. Are you mad?
Boom, then goes mad, boom, just like that. Okay, so that's pretty close. So now if I double click here, let's turn on warp. Now this is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. You can see right here in the clip grid that this guy is not even close to the beat right here. But in the arrangement view, it's right on the beat. And so here is the misalignment that I was talking about. But again, my preferred way of doing this is to simply consolidate the region. So I'm just going to go ahead and consolidate it like this. And there we go. Now we're just working with the clip that we need anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. This looks like it could go on the 16th. So I'm just going to move it there. And you can see that this is the 16th right here because we're in 64th notes down here. So 4 64th notes is going to give us a 16th note position right here. This is also pretty close to the 16th note. So I'm just going to move it over like that. So pretty close. So 16th typically is the lowest subdivision that I'm really going to care about. Let's give it a listen like this.
Completely lost your mind. Are you mad?
Cool, so the rhythm sounds really good in the vocal, it's just the warp mode sounds off. So I didn't really hear the warp mode in this vocal because we were listening in the context of the beat, but right now it's going to be on the default setting, which is beats. Okay, there's different warp modes here. Now 99.9% of the time, if you're working with vocals, you're going to be in the complex mode. But if you're doing a lot of transposing, a lot of pitching on the vocals, then I recommend going with the Complex Pro Warp mode because that gives you control over the formant value. And this is just Ableton's way of trying to preserve the original tonal characteristics of the vocals. So for example, we have it pitched up 7 semitones here. If I turn the formant all the way off down to 0, then this is going to sound a little bit like a chipmunk.
Completely lost your mind.
Okay, it's not trying to preserve the original character or tonal character of the vocal. If I turn formant all the way up to 100, then it'll try to preserve the original sound.
Completely lost your mind.
So it's not as chipmunky. Okay, so that's the difference here. We're not going to transpose anything, so I'm just going to stick with the complex mode. So complex mode it is. We're going to change this to complex. So there we go, and here we go.
Completely lost your mind. Are you mad?
Now just to show you again the difference between the modes, if we change this to the default again, beats, let's listen.
Are you mad?
There's a skip on mad.
Are you mad?
Are you mad? Whatever happens there, right? But if we change it to complex, that's not going to happen.
Are you mad? Are you mad?
And then with some plug-in magic, this is what the vocal sounds like.
Completely lost your mind. Are you mad? Completely lost your mind.
Awesome. So that's what we're going to look at in the next video, the plugin magic, how to process the vocal, make it fit a little bit better in the track. And in the meantime, I've made a little sample pack that you can download for free. So download that free sample pack. It's in the description. Find some vocals to warp, and I will see you in the next video.